Hey guys, it's me, the Afro Hamurai, and we're here with a season to taste. If you're wondering why I haven't been around for a while, that's because I was working on a couple of projects. So the first one is my music, which I have on Apple Music and Spotify and stuff like that. So give that a look, give me a search up. Also, I did a video with Tentacruel about the Unison MIDI chord pack, where I kind of like went in and did a little bit in the skit. So you should definitely check that out. Links to both of those are in the description. But today we're talking about Valhalla Delay. Now, Valhalla Delay is in use on pretty much every track in this song, as much as I've only got 4 tracks. So I'm kind of going to go in and show you where I'm using it individually, and we'll walk through exactly what it does. Yeah. So let's look at the first thing I'm using it on, which is the drums right here. So I have Valhalla Delay set up to do just like a little bit of like a slapback sort of delay, just to add a little bit more body. I'm also using Devil Lock Deluxe on it, and that's kind of what's giving me my crunchy sort of feel to it. If you haven't seen me talk about Devil Lock Deluxe, you should click the little like thing in the top right corner. That will show you everything to do with it. But let's have a listen and see what I'm using Valhalla Delay for. I'm going to turn Devil Lock Deluxe off just so you can hear it a bit easier. So it's a relatively subtle sort of effect that I'm using, but essentially I'm using the BBD mode of delay to kind of give it a bit of a darker sounding delay overall. And it's just to kind of give it like a bit more of like a multi-tap sort of thing. Valhalla Delay has like the big, mix knob, but also style. And now I've set this to quad here, and that basically gives us like multi-tap delay alongside like a delay setting for time and then the spacing to give us that sort of width on it. I'm also using a little bit of feedback just to have it tail off a little bit more. And we're using a little bit of diffusion to have it go towards a bit more of like a reverb. So if I mess around with this a little bit, you'll kind of see what happens. I'm going to turn this up to like there, because then that way you can hear it a bit easier. There we go. And it's really minor how I'm using it, but it does add quite a nice little bit of space. And when I use it alongside Devil Lock Deluxe, it adds just like a little bit of extra width overall to the sound of the entire thing. It's pretty cool. Like it's great. I do like using it. Of course, that's me using it in a very subtle way. I'm using it on my pads in a very not subtle way. So I'm going to turn the sidechain compressor off, and I'm going to turn the mix up a bit so that you can hear this a lot easier. And I'm going to do a little bit of like, A-Bing just so that you can hear what it sounds like. Let's do it. So I'm kind of using the ghost mode that we have right now with a little bit of detuning just to add a little bit of like a strange sort of width to it overall, alongside making sure the width is set to maximum. But let's mess around with this, which it has, which is sort of like the frequency shift and detune, and see what we can do. Yeah, and that's the sound of Valhalla Delay in its ghost mode. So a few things I played around with. I did turn the diffusion off, and I actually quite liked it. It was pretty cool. But I also messed with this error, which is like three different ways for it to behave after it's done all of the echo. So future ends up kind of sounding pretty neutral on the slightly bright side of everything. Present is, pretty musically pleasing, but a bit more on the neutral side. And then past, I definitely find is a much darker sort of sounding one. I don't get a huge amount on Ghost myself, at least at the volume that I'm listening at. But especially when you put it onto the tape or when you put it onto any of the lo-fi ones, you really do get it coming through quite a bit. Yeah. So I've also got Valhalla Delay on these like little pips in the background that we're hearing. And essentially I chose the preset of like the 4-bar looper, but there's lots of different presets that you have. This one's pretty cool because you just have it like melding into each other. And when you have like variations with stuff, you end up like just overall with like this very strange interaction with all of the different delays going on with each other, especially because I've worked with the panning on it. But you'll hear what I'm talking about. This is working off of the single delay, so if I added a little bit of spread as well, it just adds a little bit of an offset that just ends up messing with the timing of everything. It's really slight at the moment, but I can tell that with like, if you're using this with like, I don't know, a snare or something like that on an individual hit rather than what I've got here, which is a bit of like weird ARP, it would sound really interesting. You could get some weird stuff happening with it. The thing I don't have Valhalla Delay on is the bass. Now, let's see if I can figure something out. Let's put it on and see. That sounds pretty cool. Ooh, hello. So that sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really fit with this track, but it's pretty cool to see that there's still a way that you can use it with a bass, like, especially when it's something that still has quite a bit of like a hard percussive start to it. Yeah. No, I really do enjoy this. Like, I could definitely use this for a lot of my delay work. I do normally use Supermassive for a lot of what I'm using this for, but I can see where this is a little bit less out there and a little bit more grounded in reality, where Supermassive is just like completely otherworldly. So yeah, I really enjoy Valhalla Delay. It was $50. I got this, and I also got Valhalla like VintageVerb, which I might do a review on maybe when I have like a bit of a track that's better suited to it. But yeah, it's a really cool plugin. I really enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Season to Taste. Thank you for waiting with me, and also thank you for all of the new subscribers as well as the people who have been with me for earlier on. And but yeah, cool.